Time's been ticking, hearts are running. Think that Cupid's up to something. You ask me how I feel, I say nothing. But lately colors seem so bright, and the stars light up the night. My feet, they feel so light. I'm ignoring all this.
Hey guys, today we'll be doing a reaction video to UDY Gold Digger Test.
Oh, let's go. Let's watch it.
Wait, what is he doing?
To him about where she is going and what she does. So even though 80% of him wants to end their relationship, he first wants to get that
I like how they make
and that
a whole
closure
plan,
that
though.
he needs. So starting right now, me and my team will have 24 hours to place
I know,
Alyssa
but,
to a
some
test to
people
see
don't
if
even know
she
what they're
will end
doing.
up dropping
They're just
Yancy
going
for
with the
another
flow.
guy who has more money. Will Alyssa do what Yancy cannot? It's time to find out. I got a question for you, Yancy. So if you can't trust her, why would you put yourself through that and still be with her? You get me? Why not just like end things?
Well, to be honest, I got my suspicions. I don't got facts yet, bro. But
Hopefully we can provide Yancy
Mad
with that
ghetto.
break. It's now time to
I
hit
got
up our plug
facts,
and make sure
bro.
we have the right beat for this episode. Alright guys, so before we give you a plug and call, I want to give a big old thank you to our sponsor, Alliance Heroes of the Spire, for sponsoring this episode. Here's where you guys should download this game. Alliance combines the best features of hero. Let's go. I guess we're texting him. For those of you guys who don't know who Yokes is, he's actually this douche right here counting his money. Just kidding, guys, he's not a douche, but he's our plug. And he hooks us up with all the expensive things that we need for our tests. So he's not picking up my calls, but a text
Yokes
message should be
is
enough
the
to let
yellow
him know
part
our
of the
situation
egg.
for this
Yeah.
episode. Okay, here we go. Hey, we're testing Alyssa. Her boyfriend grew up with rapper 6ix9ine and has big connections in the music industry, so we need something big.
Oh man, I can't wait to this.
Hopefully he gets it. Hopefully he responds to me within an hour. This will be one of our toughest catches yet. With Yancy growing up with artist 6ix9ine and grinding his way to the top of the music industry, we really need something epic. Night fades,
Oh, he's a rapper, too.
24-hour timer
Yeah.
ticks on. All right, guys. So even though Yancy's on his way to making it pretty big and stuff, remember he's only
I
20.
never
He
heard of
doesn't
him,
have an
though.
exotic car. He doesn't own a mansion. And thanks to Yokes, we have access to that. So we're gonna be using these things against him.
Skittles.
And Yancy, no pun intended, man. Just being honest, just being realistic and stuff. Okay. Yo, what's
Yeah,
up, bro?
big ass
Yo,
bag.
man, what is good? Are you ready
That's
for
full of
today?
money.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll let you know
yeah,
when
bro.
to come, and don't forget to bring that water
And
bottle.
like
okay?
camera and stuff.
Okay, we still got a lot of time, so I'll text you. I'll keep in touch with you. So we make our way
Skittles,
to meet
get
up with
the
you,
fire.
so text me back
Get
with
out.
what
Pick
he
her up.
plugged us with. A rich
Not just
decoy.
leave her.
This is the homie Nick right here. Nick, you want to tell the beautiful people what you do?
Da
I'm an
Vinci.
entrepreneur, investor,
Vinci.
marketer, and basically Nick makes bank. That's why the
It's
perfect
Vinci
decoy.
or
Today we're going to be
Vinci?
using his $175,000
That's a nice
2018
car.
BMW i8 for phase 1. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We have a person sitting on this
Skittles.
bench, casually just, chilling here, reading a book on their phone, and they're controlling the camera, getting that bench
This
over
dog.
there. What do you guys think? I think that's
Yo,
genius.
stop it.
Awesome.
Get out.
And as you can see, I clearly have not forgotten
Yeah,
about
baby.
that awesome joke. All right, guys,
Yeah.
so this is the bench right here that Yancey's going to be bringing Alyssa. We're going to scoot up
Te
behind
jode más,
it, over there
chica.
to right behind it, and then we're going to get these two cars out of the way and jam. So for the final touches, we want to set up the car right behind the bench. That way Alyssa can have a solid view of it and also admire it in all of its glory. Our prep time is now coming to an end. Yancey's on his way, and we have sent him pictures of the bench that he needs to be sitting at. All right, so I couldn't necessarily figure out where to set up the second angle, and then it hit me. Put it in the freaking car.
Wow, that's smart.
Perfect!
He done.
And now with their second
That's
camera angle
smart.
rolling, our setup is
Yeah, it's
now
common
complete.
sense
So
that
now
you're
let's
trying to
let you guys
video
all calm
it.
down and be
Exactly.
Yancey's obviously bringing Alyssa to this bench. Nick, our decoy, is going to be playing a jogger. As soon as
Why does
Yancey
it look
makes
like
up
the
an excuse
map
to get
from
up and leave, Nick
Dora?
will make his
Yo,
entrance
I
and
was
begin.
about to say
So listen,
that.
he will stop next to her, mention that he's super thirsty, and then ask for a sip of water. Earlier that day, I went to the store to buy a water bottle, which I then dropped off to Yancey and told him to bring it today. When Yancey walks away, he must be sure to leave this water bottle behind with Alyssa, so that way, when a thirsty Nick approaches her, he will ask her if he can have a sip of that water. And if she says no, he must do whatever it takes to get her to say yes.
You're
Probably running
stupid.
away. You gotta look tired. I mean, if you're gonna be asking for water, like you have to look. A little bit more time passes. Jade takes a piss, and finally, Alyssa and Yancy have arrived. This is them coming in right here. Again, Yancy knows exactly where to sit, so he's gonna sit Alyssa down, and Yancy has the water that you're gonna be drinking. Got it. Everything seems to be going as planned. They seem to be headed to the bench, and Yancy has brought the Voss water bottle with him. But then suddenly, both of them come to an abrupt, unexpected halt. We honestly have no clue what is going on, but Alyssa removes her bag and then hands Yancy her phone.
I like how they respect
what?
their privacy though, and they cover their faces.
Is she taking pictures on your car?
I mean, who wouldn't take a picture of a
Did it
car
come from her?
like
Did it
that?
come from him? Okay, this is honestly a first, guys. The test hasn't even begun, but Alyssa has already displayed interest in the six-figure freaking car.
Obviously. So I quick she be like, yo, let's take a flick.
Already
I know,
interested.
right?
If it came from her, that's a bad outside already. Alyssa's little photo shoot wraps up, and Yancey seems stunned and confused as to what just happened. I don't even think he himself expected this. But now amidst him handing her back her phone and then holding her things and now being confused, Alyssa now takes the lead on this date and is leading them to the wrong freaking bench.
He's going to the wrong bench. No.
Text him. Tell him he's going to the wrong bench. Damn it. First he take a picture on the BMW. Now he takes you to the wrong bench. What is going on? We have a camera in the car getting that bench, and now Leslie has to readjust her camera. But the good news is that it appears as if Yancey has received Jay's message and realized that he messed up big time. Now he must do whatever it takes to get her back to the correct bench. No, this is interesting. Let's see how he gets her to the other bench. Let's see what does he tell her?
The shoes are nice
So
though.
whatever it
Yeah,
is that
shoes are
Yancey has
nice.
told her or made up to get her to go back seems to be working. Okay, I don't know what he told her, but it's working. I think he told her, let's go look at the car one more time.
Stupid.
Yeah, dude. Whatever the reason, we're not judging. It has worked. Now they're at the correct bench, which means phase one can begin. You ready for this? This is all you. Give it like a minute, and then turn around. At this time, Yancey is now making up his excuse that he has to use the restroom. However, at this particular park, there are no restrooms. So we instructed him to mention to Alyssa that he think he saw a porta potty just around the corner of the park. That, of course, is a lie. What will really be happening is I will be jumping in my car and I'm heading to the end of the park, and Yancey will then hop in my car so he can see everything that is going down in this space.
He looks so hyped. Like, yeah, come on, let's get this going.
Don't worry. I was about to.
She gonna see the rollie, you gonna be good.
You gonna see the rollie. Everything's going good.
She gonna
Nick is
see
making
the
his entrance, and I'm
rollie,
on my way
and
to
you gonna
get
be
Yancey.
good.
There are the boys. I think Nick already is making his entrance. But despite everything going really, really
Why
good,
he
I'm
running
not
like
sure
that?
that Alyssa might be able to see
So he's
Yancey
supposed to
hopping
be
into the car,
tired,
and that's
that he's
because we don't
supposed to
get
be
as
out
much
of breath
cover
so
from
he
the
can
trees
drink
as
the
I
water
thought we would.
that they
Look
do.
at that funny.
obvious. I think that was obvious. I think she saw you get in the car.
He looks so scared
I
now.
don't know. It was pretty obvious to me.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so. She doesn't even have good vision, bro.
She don't even got good vision, bro.
Dead ass, her vision's like type fucked up.
How you just flame his own girl? What the
Without my glasses,
fuck?
my vision is
She
tight
don't even
fucked up
got
also.
good
So if
vision.
it's as bad as mine, then we're definitely in the clear. Nick is about to approach Alyssa, but before he does, let's remind you guys of the purpose of this phase. It's simple. We must get her number.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be weird. I'm just like dying. I ran like 3 miles. Can I get a sip of water, please? It's all set.
No, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
Perhaps because it's not her water, Alyssa makes things very easy and is kind enough to give Nick a sip. Meanwhile, back in the car, we finally learn the truth about the picture that Alyssa took with the IA.
She asked for a picture in front of the car, bro.
It came from her.
It came from her.
We saw you guys taking pictures and we were like, okay, who did it come from? Was it Yancey who was like, hey, let's take a picture? Or was it her that said, I want to take a picture of
She
her?
was like, that's a sexy ass car. I was like, facts. So she's like, babe, can you take a picture? I'm like, what? I'm like, stop fake flexing.
Stop flake
flexing.
flexing.
That's a bad sign, Yancey. I'm gonna say it right now.
Get a little
Yeah,
sip.
no, you're fine.
Can I put my lips on it? Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Yeah, have as much as you want.
Don't mind at all if we do, Alyssa. I mean, guys, even if Alyssa didn't offer Nick to have as much water as he wanted, the plan was always for him to chug all of it anyways.
You might as well finish it.
Oh, thirsty son of a bitch. That I can finish it?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, this is all a part of the plan because now technically Nick owes Alyssa either a new water bottle or some money.
I really feel like I owe you a water bottle.
You really don't. You don't.
I have $1.
I don't need a dollar.
I have $1. Let me, please.
So now here's how Nick's car comes in. Nick will mention to her that he has some money in his car, which just so happens to be parked right behind them. He will ask her to walk over to it with him as he searches.
Yeah, let me see. I have one in here.
But of course, he's only doing this so she could get a closer look at the car. And speaking of cars, Yancey and I are still in my Ferrari, but we're making our way around right now. Oh, you should we get the car? You gotta duck. You gotta duck right here when I make this turn. You gotta duck.
It's okay.
It's in here somewhere.
Unfortunately, Nick will come up short and be able to find no money in his car.
It might be in the trunk actually. Hold on.
Again, this is all a part of the plan, though. Since Nick feels super guilty about drinking Alyssa's water, we have laid out the perfect opportunity for him to now ask for Alyssa's number in order to pay her back later.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I owe you. I'm gonna take down your number, and I'm gonna get you 2 water bottles.
No,
I'm gonna get you 2 water
You
bottles.
look like you got this though. He's a natural.
I'm just gonna park over here.
Bro, she went straight to the car.
I know, she's at the car right now. Just know it's a part of the test. Like, she hasn't failed yet.
Sound good?
He
You know
sounds
his
so
heart is
confused.
like,
Understanding
Yeah.
Alyssa allows Nick the
What's
opportunity
going
to
on
pay her
here?
back. With her now putting in her number in Nick's phone, phase 1 is officially
It's funny how they be
Make sure
changing
you
the
get 2 water bottles.
emojis.
I might
I
even
know.
do a whole case just because it's like, you know, it's good water.
It's good.
It's good.
No, it's not.
What the
Like,
fuck?
don't all water taste the same?
It's more work than being a decoy. This is more of a workout right here than being a decoy. I can tell you that.
Nick has done his job. Alyssa's now headed back to the bench, and now I can begin to bring back Yancey to where I picked him up. Phase 1 is now over. Or is it?
Hey, actually, what are you doing right now? Okay. Wait, what is he doing?
What the fuck? Why the fuck is she getting her bag?
She out with the next nigga. You look like a gorilla.
Why the fuck she got in the car, son? Why the fuck she got in the car, son?
Yo, he is so tired.
Woman, come here. Get up.
This is
Get your
definitely
butt
not
up.
part of the
Just
test.
stop
We
being
never
lazy.
heard
Get
her
up.
Deco to do any more than what we asked of them. But then again, maybe we're freaking out for no reason. Maybe all Nick is doing is just showing her the inside of his car.
Like, I don't know where we're going.
Stay.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
stay
either.
here.
Yeah, I do. I just drive away.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
I'm mad how she dead
Okay,
left
I
with
guess
the
not.
next nigga. Meanwhile, she went to the park with her nigga.
No!
And she
What are you
left her
doing?
boyfriend's coat on the bed.
The
No.
fuck?
Slowly but surely becomes apparent that she's not just checking out the interior.
My man's, he's driving away.
So I guess we'll just
My man's, he's driving away.
He
Mad
is so
ghetto.
What's
tired.
going on? She left her stuff there. Is that your
That's not
stuff
even
over
part
there?
of the
Is that your
plan.
jacket or your bag or something?
That's my jacket.
Okay, call her up right now and be like, where you at? I don't see you. I just came back from the porta
Where
potty.
you
Say
at?
that.
The way he said it.
I give him props for it. When you come back, I'm gonna be like, my boy.
Hello?
Where you at? You left my jacket on the bench. Where you at?
He sounds tight.
Something just came up. I had to leave.
What came up?
It's just something with my mom, okay? My mom called me and something happened and I just have to take care of it, okay?
She's such a liar.
I would have took you to your mom's house. You don't even live that far.
Okay, well, it was really urgent and I just needed to come now. I didn't know where you were and I couldn't wait for you, okay?
He just
Damn,
drove
that's
off
messed
with
up.
it.
Damn, that's messed up.
You see, they just
They
they're
some dicks,
laughing.
It's the Uber driver. Dude,
The
please
Uber
chill out. Oh
driver.
my god. Why are you freaking out?
So just send me the Uber code. Just send me a screenshot that you're in the Uber or something.
He's
You
smart.
obviously don't trust me. Why do you fucking trust me?
Granted,
Because of
we
this.
have headphones and
Like,
we're
what do you
listening
mean?
in, we don't exactly know why Alyssa jumped into the car. What we do know is that she did.
Yo,
and
his
now
face
she's
got me
lying
weak.
to him
The
about
way they
where she's
stopped
at.
it,
Send me
right?
the Uber code right now. I can track it. I'ma follow you.
Why?
He's hella smart.
Because I need to know where you at.
It's not that big of a deal. You don't need to know where I'm at. I'm gonna take care of this thing with my mom, and I'll talk to you later, okay? Stop freaking out.
Damn.
Yo, what
That's
the
crazy.
fuck, bro?
All right, maybe here's what happened. Maybe Nick just took her on a little joyride. But then again, if that was the case, why would Alyssa lie to him like that?
That bitch really lied to me.
That's crazy.
It is barely phase 1, and this test is done. This is what should happen at like phase 3. And honestly, I did not think
That's
Nick
true,
was the
though.
kind of guy to be like, yo, get in my car, let's go. What in the world? Personally, I think it's safe to assume that Alyssa has failed this test. However, Yancey thinks otherwise
I
still.
want to keep this shit going. I don't want to catch her looking stupid.
It is now.
Like, fuck
don't want
that
to catch her
shit.
looking stupid.
I would've
However,
did the same
just received
shit
a
though,
text from
fuck
Nick.
that.
Hopefully it details exactly what just happened. I think Yancey could use some hope and some peace of mind right now. Hey, she wants me to take her home. Hey, I'm going grab some water, and she asked me to take her to her mom's house. Something came up. That fits in with what she was telling you in the car. But she's still trying to play it off. The texts are broad, but as they kept coming in, we finally understood what happened. Apparently, Nick took Alyssa to simply get her water right then and there.
What are you doing right now? Okay. Do you want to, I mean, we can just go to the store right now and get some water.
You know?
Yeah, we'll be quick.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll be quick.
Okay,
Just grab your
well,
stuff, yeah.
But here's what I don't understand. If they're just going to the store to get 2 waters, why would she feel the need to lie to Yancey like that? According to Nick, his only intentions were honestly to just get her 2 water bottles. I mean, I guess maybe Alyssa could have felt guilty for leaving Yancey's jacket behind. Maybe she didn't realize exactly what she just did, or maybe she just didn't want to make Yancey jealous. Who knows, but there is a bigger question that needs to be answered first. So, 2 options. We can keep going, or you can handle this separately, or we could combine this all together or something like that, or whatever. We can keep going with the test. I don't know. You tell me. Whatever you want to do. You tell me.
I want to keep going.
You want to keep going?
Keep going.
Okay.
He is so
Okay,
pissed
go.
off, yo,
You can
his
tell.
face.
I mean, who wouldn't be pissed off?
Do you guys want to check out or like the new merch that we are rocking? Well, go to unimerch.com.
Oh.
All right, guys, we are in the beautiful Hollywood Hills. We've had a couple hours to decompress. We are here at Nick's home, finding out exactly what the heck happened. This has been our first contact
Damn,
with
that's
Nick
a
since
nice
phase
house.
1.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy just wants to be sure that the reason Nick asked Alyssa to get into the car were for test purposes only. So she got into the car because she wanted the water.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
I said, you know what, I'll get it for you right now, just because I could.
But it was just for the test. You had no
yeah,
idea.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You ain't messing with her none
Yeah.
of that?
No. It was all for the test.
Okay. There you go.
God damn, this guy's fucking.
A handshake now settles the beef, and we are good to move on to phase number 2. Let's call her up and let's see if she wants to come over.
Hey, it's Nick. Hey, how you doing?
You can tell he's a playboy.
What's up? Are you okay? I don't know. I just kind of, I ran off, but like it seemed like you were in an argument, and I just want to make sure everything was all right.
Yeah, no, I'm good. There's nothing.
Okay.
We planned on executing phase number 2 at Nick's home, which means that Nick now has to convince Alyssa to come over.
I thought it'd be cool if you, maybe wanted to hang out later.
But like tonight?
Yeah, what are you doing right now?
I mean, I just got out of the shower.
Remember, because Nick already got Alyssa new water, we can't use that anymore as an excuse to getting her to come over, which means that now we simply have to rely on Nick's cunning.
Do you have no plans though?
No, not really.
All right, good. Well, I think you should get ready, and maybe we can hang out.
And finally, after a couple of minutes of conversation, Nick finally manages to convince Alyssa to come.
So I don't know. Can you get ready in like an hour or two?
Sure, why not?
But just because Alyssa's coming over doesn't mean it's a
You can
date.
see how
This is just a
frustrated he
friendly
is.
It's
hangout.
like, nigga, you listening to your girl talking to another nigga, agreeing to see him and
girls to
shit.
my crib I just met. We ain't gonna be watching TV. We ain't gonna be eating pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Yancey's feeling a little nervous and he has every reason to. Alyssa will be coming over to Nick's $1 million home. He has called her an Uber to get her here, but there was a slight
Hella nice.
complication.
I think that's flawed. The Uber doesn't really have service.
Okay, honestly, this complication is not that big of a deal, but I mean, we still gotta get her here because our 24-hour timer is still ticking.
You're right here. So just come up, and then I'll go through and I'll see her outside.
Do you just want to call an Uber? I feel like that'd be easier.
No, I'll go outside to get you right now.
And that's our cue for us to start hiding and getting into position. We have set up our cameras and hidden them outside to make sure that they captured all the action, but the ones inside were a different story. We figured that if Alyssa were to ask about them, Nick would simply just tell her that he did photography as a hobby. The plan is for us to hide on the side of the house until Nick successfully brings Alyssa inside. Once they're inside, we're gonna dash across to our safe spot where we're gonna connect onto a phone call with Nick so that Yancey can listen in to everything that is going to be happening.
What's up?
Then how are you?
Good.
Good.
Was it a follow-up?
A little bit. It's okay. I figured it out.
Before the tour begins, let's remind you guys of the purpose of this space. Once again, it's very simple. Nick must show off that he is balling.
Yeah, they're cool.
Brag,
That's actually,
brag, and
there's a little rock
brag.
house over there.
Really?
Across the hill.
Then they got a fly ass crib.
Now
and
Nick will
shit.
take her inside and brag
It's
to
on
her
the
some
hill.
more.
Don't mind my dog. She's friendly. Her name's Russia.
Hi.
They
Now
look
that
like
they're inside, this
creeps.
will be our best
I know.
opportunity to run across. We just have to wait for the perfect opening.
So, like, do you actually own this? Like, is this...
Yeah, this is like I own it. Yeah.
It is now or never. Perfect. We have made it to safety without getting caught, and now all that's left to do is to link onto a phone call with Nick.
Do you want a glass of wine?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nick will have to answer the phone discreetly because it is important that Yancey be able to listen to what is being said in this phase. That way we don't jump to any conclusions this time. A ghost now begins to open this door right here, which is actually really, really freaking creepy. But Nick now brings back the wine, which by the way, we
He's
did
so
not tell
stupid,
them to
yeah.
offer, but whatevers. The tour is over and so is phase 2. We now immediately shift into phase number 3. Let me now inform you of the purpose of this phase. It is simple. Nick will ask Alyssa out.
So are you from LA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Lived here my whole life.
Oh, you see the dog?
Yeah,
You
Mackie.
just moved here? Where are you from originally?
Nick begins to spit his game and they engulf into a conversation. We are listening to everything, but mainly just waiting for him to pop the question.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do?
It's hard to put into like one category, but I do marketing
Okay.
and I do. Have you ever heard of like currencies? Like trading currencies?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I do that.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, they are having a very long conversation. I mean, he is asking her what her dreams are.
I mean, like, I want to be on Broadway.
Okay, Broadway.
So, like, I want to do musicals, like singing.
What she said?
Broadway.
Oh, God. That's a really hard question.
He's also
Girl.
flirting a little bit here and there, and I'm pretty sure lying, claiming that he likes the same exact
And
things
she's a
that she
good liar.
does.
Seriously?
That's true.
No, it's not.
That's
You
fucking
don't
funny.
even know what that is. I guarantee you don't know what that
That's
is.
my favorite. Yeah.
I mean, like, he just does not pop the question. Like, it's either the wine or he really wants the best decor of the year award, which, I mean, doesn't exist. But if it did, this guy would definitely be in the running for it.
If we have too many things in common, this might just be like.
Loki, he good though. He good.
Yeah.
They, like everything happens for a reason.
I like the
But finally, after
emojis.
like 2 cups of wine,
Make
Ah,
me
yo,
laugh.
Loki, me too.
I actually got there. You like looking at the views. It's like my favorite part of the house.
Then it moves too. It's just not like a normal remote.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm just gonna be super upfront. I like
My back hurt.
like it's just like like I said, it's an intuition, but I just know.
Just no.
Yeah, I just know. Anyways, I think that we should just figure out if we like each other, and we should kiss,
Wait, what?
Wait,
Did
what?
I hear that correctly?
and we should kiss.
And we should kiss.
Oh my god. Best decoy of the year.
My God, what is happening?
Kiss.
We should kiss.
I just met you.
He ain't about to kiss her, bro.
She's not gonna let him. She won't let him. For the sake of a fist fight not breaking out, please tell me Nick is not serious.
I don't know.
I-
I don't know. I feel like that's just moving really fast.
I know, and like the worst case
You see his
scenario,
face?
He's
like you'll be like,
bitch, what?
That's actually kind of a good kisser, but maybe it's not instant connection. And I'm okay with that.
If you want to go stop it now,
I want to see if she gonna kiss
She's obviously.
Yo, he is
kiss
so
him.
fucking
She's thinking about it.
serious.
She's obviously gonna kiss him.
She ain't say nothing yet. She ain't say nothing yet.
Otherwise, she would have said no.
Bro, she ain't say nothing yet.
She's gonna kiss Nick. There's no doubt about it. They've gotten to know each other. They've been sipping wine, and it sounds like she is dead thinking about it. If I could, I would go back in time and stop the video right here and now. But you know.
That's crazy.
Wow.
She dead kissed him.
That's
I would've, y'all. I
disrespectful.
would've fucked him up and be like, bitch, you dirty. Like, you a hoe.
Damn. She did him dirty.
It's like he's
I don't
looking
wanna
up
hear
like,
them make out. I don't want to hear them
Jesus.
making out.
Oh my god.
and he actually heard them making
I
out.
mean, I thought that was
That's
pretty
crazy.
good. Like, I think
You heard him? I thought that was pretty good.
we gotta like.
Tell me how you feel,
That's
Yancy.
not
Even
even
though I
part of
already
the
know how you
plan.
feel, tell me how you
I'm
feel.
gonna beat your boy's ass. That's how.
You can't do that. I get your mad and
He's like,
everything.
I'ma
but,
beat
like,
your
he was
boy's
just
ass. That's
for
what
the
I'ma do.
decoy, and sure, he took it far, but I mean, heck, we saw this coming since phase one.
He
We
took
saw
it
this
too
I ain't
far,
seen none
though.
of this coming,
But
bro.
you did. You're just in love with her, so you're blind to the fact that she's willing to do all this stuff to you. You get me? She's willing to just cheat on you like that.
Bro, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50.
Right,
It's a
and she's
50-50.
been failing this
Oh
whole
my
time.
god! I guess she gave her 50, but your boy is going too far.
Maybe he
That's
is,
true.
but again, like we saw this coming since phase one. She jumps in the car. Okay, sure, it was just for 2 water bottles, but still, she jumped into a car with a stranger. Phase number 2, she comes to the house. Phase number 3, she does that. You get me? It's like we saw this coming. Like you can't just go in there and beat his ass and everything. Like
Alright,
first
I
of all,
wanna go in though.
First
I wanna
off,
go
he's
in
probably
though.
gonna
I wanna
sue
go
you.
in.
Second, he's gonna sue me, and I don't want to get sued. Like if you want to
I
confront
wanna
someone,
go
confront
sue.
someone.
Oh,
Alright, okay, so now my question to you.
I'm gonna talk to her. I ain't gonna do nothing to your boy. I just want to talk to her.
Okay, do you understand that you cannot touch what's his
Bro,
name?
I ain't touching no one. I promise you, I ain't touching no one.
Okay.
I got respect for you, bro. I ain't touching no one.
I did too. I did too. But I'm saying, like, you're
He look mad scared. He like, nah, I feel like he gonna punch him.
Oh, nah, trust me. I got hella lot of shit to say to her right now.
Before we confronted her, I wanted to give Yancy some time to cool off. And at the same time, I wanted to make sure that Alyssa didn't hear us because we were a little loud. So I asked Yancy to put on his headphones with me once again to listen in. But I quickly realized this was a terrible mistake because Nick was still in character.
Yeah, I knew something good was gonna happen today. I felt it.
Yeah.
When I was running, I like felt it. Like, you know.
Yeah. Me too, honestly.
You did?
Yeah.
You're just saying that.
No, I'm not. I'm being serious.
Wow. Oh, he bucking it. Look how he running.
He was mad funny.
That's it? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I
Okay.
swear, a girl does that to me, oh lord. She
Ooh,
better run.
Jesus.
She
She better
run.
run for the hills.
She got caught lovely though.
She did.
Like, damn, man.
That's crazy.
They caught you.
Why would she do that
They
though?
caught you, yo.
Anyway, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you guys want us to react to other things or do other things.
Also, let us know if you want us to do a second part with this video, the exact same one.
Yes, because there's a part two
to it,
when
yeah.
the guy confronts the girl in person. There's a part 2. Comment down below if you guys want to see the part 2 of us reacting to it.
Yes.
Like, I already said that already.
Yes, he did.
Make sure to follow us on our social media.
Medias.
They'll be down below. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Bye.
Deuces.